Alright, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode number 5 of this 2004 WWE save. This is our first B-show episode. I don't know how long these are going to go, but there's 2 shows to get into, but they're both half the time, and there's also not a lot going on. So they might actually, despite being a whole other show longer and then also technically the same amount of time as a Raw and SmackDown, these might actually come out to quicker than a episode of Raw or Smack. It'll sure as hell be faster than a pay-per-view. But yeah, we are kicking off with Velocity. I of course want to air these in the kayfabe of when they would air. So since Velocity happens on Saturday and Heat happens on Sunday, you are seeing Velocity first. By the way, I think I said this in Heat. It is so fucking weird recording Heat right after Raw and then fucking doing the outro to that video and now the final thing I'm recording today. As I've recorded all 4 of the I recorded all 4 of episodes of this week in the same day, and I'm finishing with an intro that I'm not gonna finish. It's just it's funny. But tonight on Velocity, we actually do have something pre-booked, as Nunzio called out the tag team champions. He more kind of called out himself while challenging the tag champions, saying he hasn't done much in his WWE career, and he's going to change that. And 2 cool dudes, the tag champions, are going to see how impressive him and Johnny Stamboli are when they take on Rico and Billy Gunn. And that is how we open the show. No, we don't. I forgot. We have a pre-show match. We have a pre-show match because I brought up a couple guys from Dev for SmackDown, and I thought I might as well let them get their reps in. Most of them are young lions, so the more work they get, the better. So, pre-show match, Chris Masters and Charlie Haas defeated Elijah Burke and Rodney Mack. Really nothing to say about this. Charlie Haas did, believe it or not, better than all of them. But yeah, 44 for the pre-show. But in terms of actual wrestling on TV, we kick off with Johnny Stamboli and Nunzio versus Rico and Billy Gunn. And after 11 minutes and 47 seconds, Nunzio and Johnny Stamboli kind of do exactly what they say in terms of winning. However, the way they won was not exactly decisive, as Nunzio submitted Rico with the Sicilian Crab after blatantly cheating. Billy Gunn is going to kind of get the short end of the stick for a little bit of the save. He has this personal issues marker on his character, so at least for like the first year probably we're not gonna do much with Billy. I'm not gonna try to bury him because I like Billy Gunn, but it's gonna be hard to use him until this goes away. So yeah, 56 for Nunzio and Johnny Stamboli getting the victory, and they continue. Oh my god, how long did I have this go? Whoops. And we continue the beatdown as Johnny Stamboli and Nunzio make an example out of Rico here. They handcuff Billy Gunn to the ropes, and they just fucking lay into Rico with a baseball bat right to his knees. Just laying in the baseball bat. Billy Gunn can't do anything. Yeah, I don't know how Billy Gunn and Rico's storyline relationship ended, but they're both faces, so, you know, they're teaming on Velocity. Why not? 51 for... My mouse was freaking out there. That's weird. That is really weird. The mouse is really freaking out. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. 51 for that. A 73 as Sable makes her return to WWE in the wake of Brock Lesnar's departure, and she comes with somebody new. She comes with Steve Corino. She says with the change in management here in the WWE, a lot of old ECW guys are going to be showing up, and she wants in on that action, and the first one that shows up is none other than Steve fucking Corino. He makes his debut in WWE. I don't think he ever had a full-on run in WWE. He might have had like a dark match or 2, but from what I could tell, he never did. So Steve Corino makes his WWE debut here on Velocity, managed by Sable, and his debut match does not go great because he isn't unimportant, which is a bit of a shame, but shit needs to happen. So Steve Corino makes his debut, gets the victory over Ryan Sakota, or it's just Sakota, in 7 minutes and 31 seconds by pinfall with the old school expulsion. This gets actually a 40 for, not a bad match. But yeah, Steve Corino is here, makes his debut, and gets one hell of a debut promo, I should say. I really like that. So 40 for that segment. We then have Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty saying that they are not impressed with Johnny Stamboli and Nunzio. People that have to resort to actions like that, cheating to win, taking advantage of opponents when they're down, that's not, championship worthy. Maybe that's the shit that Nunzio's talking about. He's like, I haven't done much in my WWE career so far, and maybe that's why. Maybe he's getting in his own way. Maybe, just maybe, he's just not good enough. So you know what? Before it becomes a problem and their kneecaps get taken out on SmackDown, Scotty 2 Hotty will take on Nunzio and put this kid to rest before he can even get going. 47, and a match set for SmackDown. 47. We then have our semi-main do a horrible job as the match goes 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Paul London defeats Brent Albright in, I already said 5 minutes and 22 seconds with the Shooting Star Press. This match only got a 39, and Paul London gets the victory. I like Paul London, so he won tonight. Speaking of debuts and returns, we see Sean O'Haire again with his old Devil's Advocate gimmick. He does not have Roddy Piper by his side. He has Dawn Marie by his side. He says that he is back on SmackDown, fueled by the 7 deadly sins. He is I love those vignettes. I love the Devil's Advocate vignettes. I love that promo. But he doesn't quite cut that kind of promo. He says he's back and stronger than ever, fueled by the 7 deadly sins, fueled by lust, by greed, by gluttony, and nobody is going to be able to stop a man filled by the strongest powers of evil or something. I don't know. 50 for the return of Sean O'Haire. He is back full-time on the SmackDown brand. 50. A 37, we see Akio and Sakota not too happy with Steve Corino using Sakota for his debut as they beat him down backstage in this 37 rated angle. And we get our main event, a good, fun, 61 rated Cruiserweight main event. Chavo Guerrero, who has a Cruiserweight Championship match scheduled for SmackDown, takes on Funaki, gets the victory in 8 minutes and 8 seconds with the Gory Bomb. And that's how we end Velocity, just with a fun Cruiserweight match. The Jamie Noble and Ultimo Dragon match did incredibly well, so I thought, why not just end Velocity on a high note with a really fun Cruiserweight match. 66 overall. Some good, some bad. Yeah, it's SmackDown's trial and error. I went over that in the SmackDown episode. I'm not mad about this Velocity. It's Velocity. As long as we're not going below, 60s, then I'm like, alright, we're fine. Even if we go below 60s, if there's a reason, bad chem or bad pro, you know what I mean? It's Velocity. We're just here to use the people I don't have space for. Like Steve Corino, I brought him in, and then I'm like, well, fuck, I really don't have space. We might as well put him on Velocity. No one knows who he is yet. Anyway, so yeah. But yeah, that's Velocity, so let's get straight into Sunday Night Heat. Okay, and we are here for Heat. This is really weird, because I just finished recording episode 3, and now I'm recording only the second half of episode 5, because Heat is on Sundays, so this is going to be on the Velocity and Heat show, or episode, but it's going on second, so I have no earthly idea what happened on, not even just Velocity, or SmackDown. I know a couple things I'm going to do on SmackDown. I don't have a goddamn idea what's going on Velocity, other than the 2 storylines I've created. But I hope Velocity was good. I'm like, imagine just my tone is, let's say on SmackDown, fucking Eddie Guerrero broke his neck, and you just cut to this, and it's like, oh, I'm having a great time. I'm just fresh off of a 90 rated Raw main event, and, like, I'm, like, completely somber during Velocity. I don't know what the hell could happen. This is weird. But, yeah, so let's, Heat. Let's get into Heat. What happened on the Heat show? Well, we opened the show. Oh, wow. We opened the show with Hurricane and Rosie angle. They were announced to get a tag team title match, and we open Heat with a superhero training montage. The Hurricane and Rosie are on some shitty, horrible green screen. They're like pretending to fly and save kittens and all that stuff, and I think Hurricane was like doing someone's taxes or something. They are training for this tag team title match the only way they know how, and Hurricane does have a match later on tonight. He might be able to get some of this training into good use. 42, I do not know why this did so bad, but oh well. Shit happens. 42 to kick off the show. We then have a squash match as Rhino beats the fuck out of Mike Mondo. If I hire or if I bring up a guy from OVW to work a Raw or SmackDown, you know goddamn well that they're working Heat and Velocity too. They're not on my roster yet. You gotta work double duty. Earn your stripes, kid. So Rhino, he's actually decently over. I just don't really have any plans for him right now, or even like in the immediate future. So Rhino's probably gonna be a little Heat regular we have until I can figure out something. I like Rhino. And he's got good starting pop. This happens sometimes. There's just some people where it's like, well, we don't have plans for you right now. 45 for this Rhino Mike Mondo match. We get a video package of Stacy Keibler. Just a little hype video package of Stacy Keibler. She had a very impressive victory alongside Chris Jericho. The crowd, or the young female demographic, was really into her, it said. So here's Stacy Keibler, guys. Look at that. Stacy Keibler's great. 66 for that, and we get a promo. My friend Tyler's favorite wrestler, Matt Morgan, is here, and he is back on main roster WWE. He's taken some time off to train. He says he's coming back and better than ever, and he wants some fresh meat. And out comes the original Tough Enough winner, Maven. And they're going to have a little match, and Maven spoils the re-debut of Matt Morgan as the crowd fucking goes mild. A 7-minute and 41 match, Maven ruins the re-debut of Matt Morgan. I guess he didn't train enough because Maven missile dropkick, one of the most beautiful dropkicks. I've never heard him say that. Yeah. Who is tough enough? Maven is tougher than Matt Morgan tonight, and Matt Morgan absolutely loses his shit afterwards. His re-debut was ruined at the hands of Maven, and oh boy, is it just a mess right now. 39 for that. We then get a promo from Gail Kim. She's getting interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund. She's like, I just don't understand all this hype for Stacy Keibler. She wins one match, and all of a sudden we have to fucking bow down like she's the goddamn queen. I'm sorry, how many women's championship reigns does Stacy Keibler have? Oh, none? How many do I have? One? I have double the amount, and yet we're giving airtime to filming Stacy Keibler at the fucking beach? What the hell is this? I'm protesting this. It's a bit of a shame that the people running the show do not understand who their real stars in the women's division are. 46, Gail Kim, not a huge Stacy Keibler fan. Oh my god, this match was horrible. The crowd is dying on me. What do you expect, 64? You put Terry and Merlina Perez in a match. This is heat. This is heat for you guys. A 15 for this. Terry gets a victory here in 456. And then we see another return as Ivory makes her debut, re-debut. I'm changing her gimmick, that's right. Arrogant heel, very good. Ivory the crowd is dead. I've never had a dead crowd before. That's hilarious. Terry killed the crowd. Wow. Canada, not a big fan of Heat. Ivory is back on Monday Night Raw. She has showed up here on Heat. We haven't seen her since I don't know when, probably like the Attitude Era. Ivory is back, guys, and she is going after Terry. 49 for that segment. We get a promo from Kane. The angle got the crowd interested again. Kane, we haven't seen him since his loss to Edge, and we get this video package where it's just like Kane is kind of like half losing it. He's in this like weirdly dark room where the only light source is red for some reason, and he's just like split personality thing. Like, he feels like he's torn. He's very, very angry, but somehow it almost looks like an even angrier version of himself is trying to break free. Losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania already did a number on him, and then losing to Edge at Backlash is just, it looks like it's about to set him over the edge. 60 rated segment there. And we get our main event, Al Snow versus the Hurricane. Al Snow, story of this match is Al Snow pretty much has the match in the bag. Hurricane's not exactly a tough competitor or anything. Despite the 60, I might have to push. Gregory Helms is coming, apparently. 64 overall, perfect segment rating. And, yeah, Al Snow is really in control. It's not 100%, but he's in control for about 60-70% of the match. And then, all of a sudden, Al Snow, he goes and he runs the ropes, and, Hurricane legitimately falls over, and it just so happens to trip Al Snow. And Al Snow, he starts to get up, he's on his knees. Hurricane hits the Shining Wizard and gets the victory. Hurricane, legitimately, with a slip on a banana peel victory. Oh my god, they might win the tag team titles on Raw. Hurricane might do it. Hurricane and Rosie might do it. What a victory by the Hurricane as we end this apparently dreadful edition of Sunday Night Heat. Yeah, again, I don't know how Velocity was, but I expect these Velocity and Heat episodes, despite being technically double the show, to be a little shorter, a little quicker. You know, Heat and Velocity. This is literally, I like to have big rosters. I used to not want to use B shows ever, and then one save I forced myself to do it, and like I think it was like what was it? I don't know. It was some Cornellverse save with a major company. I think it was an alt mod, and it was like, I don't know. Regardless, I had a B show. I usually just cancel the B shows and just eat the you know, some of the difference. But that save, I forced myself to use it, and I found a really fun thing to do with it, where it's just, I like to sign giant rosters, and I notice I just don't use, like, some mid-carders, like a Rhino, like a Maven. And, until I can think of something for them to do on Raw, I'll just give them a little feud on Heat, or a little feud on Velocity. You know, almost nothing that's gonna, affect Monday Night Raw. Like, this Kane vignette, he's a Raw guy, but, like, this is just gonna add a little bit of extra layer to whatever story I've got going on. Same thing with the Hurricane. Like, oh my god, is he actually gonna be able to slip on a banana peel and win the tag title? You know, like, Heat and Velocity episodes, you probably could get away with not watching them. There might be a couple things where it's like, oh, fuck, I didn't watch Heat, why did this happen? But you watch it, and you just get a little extra boost. So, I hope you all enjoyed this B show report, this, B show wrap up. I hope Velocity was good. I hope you weren't in the crowd because apparently you hated this show. But I do hope you all come back for the next edition of Monday Night Raw, where we have Hurricane and Rosie versus Evolution, and of course the Battle Royal to determine who Chris Benoit will face at Bad Blood.